Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Love and Light Show, where your special guest is Lily, and we're talking about how painless periods are possible. And I'm so grateful for this episode because, as you guys know, who've been following my journey, last year at the beginning of March, I got off birth control and I had the most worst excruciating period pains right after. And I really wanted to go back onto hormonal birth control just to like kind of make it stop and not deal with it. So I've been on my own journey piecing together all these different puzzle pieces and doing all the little things that come into my awareness to heal and work on and clear. So I'm so grateful that Lily came into my awareness, and we're talking today about how everything is figureoutable, that your individual needs are unique to you, and that you don't have to be perfect in order to be symptom free. And then at the end, she's going to guide us through a meditation that will support us in asking our body what the root cause of our symptoms is so that we can go a little bit deeper into our own bodies. So I'm so excited for this episode. And Lily is a holistic health practitioner and founder of the Painless Period Movement, who helps people end their suffering and live a magical as fuck life. So I'm so excited for you to be on today, Lily. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well, Laura. I'm honored to be here. I'm always happy to share the message and share the hope. I was on my own personal journey since
Mhm.
I was 14 years old and had my first period, and I felt hopeless and helpless
Yeah.
and had no idea what to do.
Mhm.
So it's been quite the journey from 14 to 29.
Mhm.
And I'm really grateful to be where I'm at. I'm really grateful to be able to help other people with their period pain
Mhm.
and other things in life.
Yay. Well, I'm so grateful that you're here too. And we have Jane joining us live. And she says, "Hi, ladies. Hope you're well. Watching from the UK. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Jane. Hope you're having an awesome
Hey.
day and or evening. I think it'd be more evening there." And we have three other people on live. So this is the Be Live platform. So we can't see you as you pop on live. So definitely say hi to us as you join us and say hi on the replay as well. We love to engage with you during the show and afterwards as well. And definitely invite or tag any friends who you know are going through painful periods because it sucks. It's not
Yeah.
normal. Like, we don't have to be going through pain. We don't need to normalize suffering in this world any longer, especially when you know better, you can do better. So I'm so excited for this episode. And this is the Love and Light Show, where every Wednesday and Friday at 1 Atlantic, 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific, we bring you different light workers and healers and heart-centered entrepreneurs to support you on your healing journey so you can be the best version of yourself and that you can be the change that you want to see in the world, so we can share all of this powerful information and all these incredible healing modalities and information with other people so we can all be that change that we want to see in the world. And I'm Laura McPhee, a joyful goddess, speaker, healer, and coach, and I absolutely love empowering women to get to their dream lives right now through unconditionally loving themselves, through deep self-care so that they are serving from an overflowing cup, and through clearing the limiting beliefs that are telling us that we're not good enough or pretty enough or smart enough or whatever blank enough or any other limiting belief that we picked up that's not serving us and that's keeping us stuck. So I'm so excited to jump into today's episode. So how can you really get to the place where you're like, everything is figure edible. I can like figure this out with my period and know that there's options and be in that place.
Oh, yeah. I remember I remember every single month feeling like I was literally dying
Mhm.
once a month.
Yeah.
And the only time I experienced anything similar to that was years later going through postpartum depression and getting to this
Mhm.
low point of like, I don't want to feel like of course I want to feel like great and have a magical life and
Mhm.
want to live my dream life for sure. But at
Mhm.
that low point, at those low points, all that I want is just for the pain to go away. All that I
Yeah.
wanted was just to be like at normal, at zero.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like I'm in the negative. I just want to be at zero, neutral. That is enough for me.
Mhm.
Um, so, in what I do now and with everything, everywhere that I am, everywhere that I'm going,
Mhm.
everything that I'm doing, um, it's kind of like a jump. It's kind of like two jumps, right?
Mhm.
To be able to go from even just to see, to trust, to have the hope that there is a neutral space, there is a zero point, and that you can get there. Sometimes all it takes is hearing other people's stories of accomplishing that. And first of all, just to know, and I don't want to take up a bunch of time with my story, but I'll give you some bullet points for our what do I even call viewers? I was like watchers.
Yeah.
What is the word?
They technically are watching us, but yeah, our audience are viewers.
For our viewers. So when I was 14, my very first period I would not stop bleeding. I had my first period. It was really painful. And I thought that that was normal. I was told that that was normal. My mom had had painful periods. She later found out, and I mean later as in like just a couple years ago, when she had a hysterectomy, she found out that she had adenomyosis, which is similar to endometriosis, except that it's just extra tissue that grows inside the uterus. So I found out years ago all of these symptoms that, no doctor had ever diagnosed me, but every single thing that I experienced, even when I was pregnant and I had some extra tissues. And so like when I went and did what is that thing called? Where you can see your baby.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Where they put the
blanking on the word.
I haven't gone through it, but I know what you mean. Where they put the gel on and they see it and take the pictures of the baby. Yeah. If you guys are watching and remember that word and can help us with the word blank that we're doing right now.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, I had a couple of those, and there was still some endometrial growing outside of my uterus during the first one. There was still, or not growing, but it was there, left over. And then I think that the pregnancy itself, and I've heard this from other moms and doctors as well, the pregnancy itself helped whatever tissue was remaining, because by the second, it's on the tip of my tongue, it almost came out. The second scan.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just going to call it a scan. There's a more official term, but whatever. So by the second scan, because first she was like, oh, your uterus is appearing heart-shaped. And by the second scan, they were like, no, everything looks normal. So something changed. I think that the pregnancy helped a little bit. But I had already been symptom-free before that. So, yeah, I'm grateful on so many fronts.
That's awesome.
But yeah. So I never had an official diagnosis. I've just had to put the pieces, talk to different doctors, now that I don't have it, about what it looked like, what endometriosis and PCOS looks like, right? So anyway, I bled for a month my first period.
Oh my God.
My doctor tried a low-dose birth control to stop the bleeding. It didn't work. Then I went and saw a different doctor, a gynecologist, and she put me on Yaz, which is recalled, not on the market anymore because there were liver failures, deaths, etc.
Yeah.
So needless to say, it put my body in worse shape than I started. But I did end up coming back from the blood loss, right? The iron loss. And a few years later, when I was studying natural health in college, that was kind of the final piece for me, was getting off of birth control pills. So that was 2009. And when I got off the pill, of course, all my symptoms came flooding back in, just like you experienced, Laura. Right. So it was masking these symptoms. And it was really then, I was already studying nutrition and alternative methods of healing, complementary and alternative medicine. And it was really then that moment of feeling like I was dying for the first time in years, right, since my previous periods, where I was like, what is going on? I went to the emergency room. The doctor told me this is normal and to be expected as a woman. And I flipped out. on the inside. I was just like, I
Mhm.
just waited for 2 hours to listen to a man tell me that the only thing he can do is prescribe me birth control pills and
Yeah.
pain medication. Like,
Yeah.
no fucking way is
Mhm.
this going to be the answer that I allow. So,
Yes.
as you talk about, how do you get from a place of believing that it's possible? Everyone's different. I had to I
Mhm.
feel the lowest of the low and get to a place of, fuck, no, I will not
Yeah.
hear that. I
Mhm.
refuse to believe that.
Yes.
And that's really the resilience that we have for ourselves
Mhm.
is, for some people it's with diabetes, like getting to a low point where like
Mm.
stage 4 kidney failure. And
Yeah.
they're finally like, okay, I might die. Maybe I should do something about it,
Yeah.
But some people are like, oh, just the diagnosis is enough. Shit, like
Mhm.
I'm on a mission.
Yeah. Mhm.
Everybody's different.
Mhm.
But yeah, to really, I think that, I mean, you have to find what motivates you. Like what is your deepest
Mhm.
motivational factor? Is it, how does this impact your daily life? How does having that pain, whether or not you have a diagnosis, how does that
Mhm.
pain impact your relationships? How does it impact how you show up in the world? How does it impact your ability to function, to do what you want to do what you have to do? Whether it's,
Yeah.
feeling like you have to go to your job and that maybe you have been let go from multiple jobs because each month you have to take at least a day off because of that
Yeah.
pain, you
Mhm.
know? And yeah, each of our lives are completely unique. For some people, that I mean, honestly, that's part of entrepreneurship was not just but my entire life. Like I don't want to just live according to someone else's rules. I need to do things in my own
Yes.
way, and I
100%.
think that yeah, I think that applies as well to what I did for my menstrual health journey was, now
Mhm.
in the age of the internet, there's so much more information. There's so many more professionals, menstrual health professionals, and I'm so happy
Yeah.
about that. There's way more information. When I hosted the Painless Period Summit a few years ago, that was like kind of this burgeoning of getting other menstrual health practitioners together in the same place. And now, just
Yeah.
recently, I was watching another summit around menstrual health, and they had even more practitioners and doctors talking about
Yeah.
these things that no one was talking about 5 years ago. And so
Mhm.
I am immensely grateful and joyful about the fact that we have so much more information at our fingertips. That is being able to figure out which information applies to your situation and how to have assistance
Yeah.
with that. You know, like I
Mhm.
did it alone. I did it on my own, but I didn't do it alone. I saw herbalists.
Mhm.
I did a bunch of research. I talked to different professionals, and sometimes I disagreed with them and I went my own way. And sometimes I spoke with someone and I'm like,
Yeah.
they have something of use to me. I think that,
Mhm.
there's something aligned there. So it's really
Yeah.
about picking and choosing. You know your body better than anyone,
Yeah.
and your body has the answers inside.
Mhm. Yeah, I fully agree, and when we tune into our body's
Granted,
wisdom and when we tune into our intuition, our gut feeling, like, we can figure out the next best step. It's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get an intuitive hit to, like, Google this person or, like, hop on a live like this," or something like that, or bring it up to people. Because the more I started
yeah,
bringing it up, the more people actually supported me with it, and I had a similar story where I had painful periods when I was very young, like, soon after I got it, and I was nowhere near going to be sexually active, but they're like, "Here's a birth control pill that we're not gonna tell you has any side effects, it's just this is what everyone does, and this is just
yes,
what you should do even though you're not gonna have sex for years." Like, it was so mind-blowing to become aware of all these things. And then the more I learned about all the different things, it's like, yeah, I really want to get off this. And I had tried previously and it was too painful. And I'm like, I'm building my business. I can't do it right now. So I was grateful that last year I not only committed to doing it, I also flat out asked for support. I was like, I'm in a lot of pain. I'm ready to receive support. I like put a post out on Facebook. A ton of people recommended things. I started telling my massage therapist and he did some work, and I'm now doing chiro to like realign some of my things because when I was younger I had like a brace thing on, and I'm doing all the little things that will support me. And it's
Mhm.
incredible to have people in my world now that I believe that it's fully figureoutable and that I'm going to have a pain-free period, that other people are like, yeah, you can totally do that. And I'm being like given all these resources. So I feel like that's an important piece too, to decide like, and not necessarily do it when you are in the hospital, ideally. Like I'm all about an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So it's like, okay, I've got whatever issue, I'm deciding that I'm going to be the one to figure this out for me, that I don't need to be in pain, that I don't have to suffer, that I'm going to choose joy and ease, and that there has to be a way because that's what I'm feeling I need to do, and trust
Yeah.
that.
I I think that, I mean, if I were to boil it down to one single thing for someone to do, it's like, first of all, don't believe everything you think, and
Mm,
second of all, don't believe everything you hear.
yeah.
Because first and foremost, we have been programmed to believe that periods are supposed to be painful, that it's normal.
Yeah.
Right, like you said earlier. And what I tell people all the time is it's common, but it's not normal.
Right.
And it shouldn't be common. You
Mhm.
know, that's really the mission with the Painless Period Movement, is to make this not common anymore. Should not be. I I had such a struggle in the public school system as a kid, because there were so many things that we learned that we didn't need
Yeah.
and that we didn't learn that we needed. And
Exactly.
yeah, like the most important thing is how to be in your body.
Mhm.
How do you take care of this thing that you have alive? Proper
Yes.
nutrition, you know, the physical activity and PE stuff is a good start, you know.
But
It's
learning
awesome
how to
that
do
it's
volleyball didn't help me
there.
know how to do stretches, like
Seriously, you know, like anatomy and physiology. I took that because when I was 17, I went to massage school and anatomy
Mm,
was interesting to me. And so then my senior year, when I was 17, 18, I was like, I'm going to keep studying anatomy, physiology. And I knew I wanted to go into nutrition and health. So
yeah.
I think that should be requirement for all of us. Dude, and
Mhm.
I have to tell you that back in 2012, my first nutrition client was a doctor, was a cardiologist who was overweight.
Oh, mhm.
Yeah, because doctors are not taught nutrition. That
Yeah.
is not part of their requirement. The ones that learn it have chosen to learn it. It is not part of their requirement.
Wow.
So, literally, their entire training, and they're smart. I don't want to knock doctors, but their entire training has been created by pharmaceutical companies.
Mhm.
They're prescribe medicine and do treatment, and who specialize in different ways. That's amazing. And they can do life saving surgeries and all of these amazing things. I am super
Mhm.
grateful for modern medicine. And I think that we've come
Yeah.
to rely too much on it for just the
Mhm.
basics. It's not for the
Yeah.
basics, it's for extreme
Mhm.
circumstances.
Yeah.
And I think that a proper education about what are the basics and what are extreme circumstances, when basics
Mhm.
happen, when little basic shifts, things like things happening with our menstrual health, different things, getting a cold,
Mhm.
like even having the flu, like little things, they can seem so big. And everyone just tells you, go to the doctor, go to the doctor, go to the doctor, go to the doctor, go to the doctor. And it's great
Mhm.
to be able to have that as a resource, and it's totally overused. We have put all of our trust trust ourselves.
Mhm.
But you and who is in this body, and
Mhm.
your body is so intelligent. Tell you messages about what's going on, knows how to communicate those things, and it knows how to kick out
Mhm.
things that are attacking it. viruses,
Mhm.
things like that.
Yeah,
So I don't regret it.
very true. And we take it for granted, and we're taught and conditioned to take it for granted. And that's like a
Mhm.
huge other societal shift that needs to happen to be like, yeah, success and money isn't more important than the physical body that you have to live in. Because then you get to the point where it's like, oh, now you're having a midlife crisis or a health condition. And now you're trying to use all the money that you've accumulated to try to piece back some health. And that's such a damaging negative cycle.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of sad, but it's also where we're at. It's what
Mhm.
we're dealing with, and it's just something that
Yeah,
needs to be addressed. You know,
exactly.
also just the way that work is set up in the world right now is not honoring the fact that we have a cyclical nature. No
Yeah,
matter what body you're born into, no matter what your sex organs are, no matter if you have a period or not, we are
yeah.
cyclical beings. And that
Mhm.
is not honored. It is so
Yeah.
not honored with the 9 to 5 grind,
Mhm.
which is part of why being entrepreneurs is
Yeah.
so freeing
Mhm.
because it honors our natural cycles and it honors our bodies and
Mhm.
our minds and what we need in the world.
Yes. I agree, and I feel like one of the first pieces of me really honoring my menstrual cycle was to track it so that I could start taking less clients during that week. And I could start to be like, okay, only my VIP clients get to see me during that week. And okay, when I'm really fertile, I have so much downloads and awesome content coming through. And to be able to start piecing those exciting pieces to me, because that helped me do like immediate benefits to my body. And it didn't cost me anything. Like there's free apps that you can track your cycle, and from there, I got even more excited about how big of an impact that had on my life to understand that I was excited to find out more and excited to learn more and read more and do more to support me.
Absolutely. I think that, your whole, what you were saying earlier about everything is figure outable,
Mm,
the one to help keep it, like that's honestly having an unstoppable, not necessarily food, but just solution oriented, right? I think that we can get so hung up
yeah.
and dwell on things. And it's really good to
Mhm,
acknowledge the pain and acknowledge what we're going through.
mhm.
And I think also we can sit for too long and marinate in
Yeah.
all of that pain and suffering. And there's
Mhm,
a certain point where, after that acknowledgement, write it, speak it, create some, music
mhm.
or poetry or, painting, whatever you need to do, dance it out, right? And as you accept that,
Yeah.
that can help you move through to a point of, okay, I'm ready to find solutions. I'm ready to
Mhm.
keep going,
Yeah.
because we have our cycles. We can go down and come back up. We do all the time.
Mhm,
But to keep that kind of unstoppable, solution oriented mindset that everything is figure outable, we have
mhm.
to process it. So
Yeah.
finding your ways of processing, what
Mhm,
are your means of expression and processing? And if you don't know
mhm.
what they are, just start trying anything. There's no one answer. There's no perfect answer. Just start trying things.
And be curious about it, like, have fun with it and be like, "I wonder if this'll work out," instead of being like, "This has to work out, and I'm putting all my eggs in one basket," and, like, putting so much, like, stress and control and, like, tightness into it. Just be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna play with this, and if it feels great in my body, I'm gonna keep doing it, and if not, I'll shift to something else," and just explore what's good for you. And it's like a big thing that I feel helps a lot of people is instead of being like, I have to be fixed or I have to like get done and have like a check mark that I'm officially complete the course of understanding my body, be like, I'm interested in being very curious and excited to play with it, to play with this puzzle of my life and find out how I can keep making it even better and even better and even better instead of other mindsets that might make you a little bit more like, that didn't work, shit, like, I'm horrible in the downward spiral of they did something wrong or they made a wrong choice or that thing didn't work that that guru told them, like, it's more empowering to be like, "This is fun, this is playful, I'm gonna figure it out however it feels good in my body."
For sure. And I think that there's also something to be said about using there's something that can be shaming sometimes within ourselves about saying, well, you know what, I should be having a better mindset right now. I
Mhm.
should be more positive or more excited right now. You
Mhm.
know, um, you don't have to be right
Right.
now. You
Mhm.
know, like if you're in a shitty ass place,
Mhm.
just like sit in it for a minute. Like let yourself feel everything. Because if you're the whole time you're just like, I gotta escape this shit,
Right.
you're never gonna get out. You're
Right.
just gonna be running and running and running, right? It'll always chase you.
Mhm.
But understanding that there's integration there. You know,
Mhm.
this is a piece of you that can come up sometimes.
Yes.
And I think that the more that we look at things that come up, the thoughts that we have as not necessarily separate from ourselves, but being able to look at them as just a piece of the whole. So rather than thinking, you know what, I am just a, or my life just sucks, just thinking like, you know, some horrible shit has happened in my life.
Mhm.
Or, you know what, these things today have been hard, rather than I'm having a bad day. These
Mhm.
things today have been hard. And being able to take a balanced approach and understanding and acknowledging, yeah, that sometimes things are hard. And then looking at, and also, these things have
Mhm.
been really nice today. Even if
Mhm.
like the sun is shining, and that's
Yeah.
the nice thing today. Like, you know, there are also opportunities for me to feel grateful. And I can
Mhm.
feel both. I can balance both of those things, move forward
Mhm.
with that as a whole being.
Mhm.
I think that that can be so helpful in getting us from negative to neutral, because
Mhm.
neutral is literally just the space between the negative and the positive. And I think
Mhm.
they feel ostracized or like outsiders if they're feeling low and we're up here and we're just like, hey, just be positive, come up here, be with us. And they're just like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm down here.
Right.
I think
Mhm.
that it really is like a two-step jump, you know, like let's get to neutral
Mhm.
first, because
Yeah.
this is the whole. This is yin
Mhm.
and yang. This is duality. This is heaven and hell. This is a story that goes back to the beginning of time, of all time.
Mhm.
Negative, neutral, positive. And, and it all
Mhm.
exists, and it's all here, and
Mhm.
we need to acknowledge it all.
Yeah.
Um, we are so going
Mhm.
on rants today. um,
I know.
sorry if I've, but
No worries at all, and I fully believe in doing the inner work and not, like, being like, "Oh, this bad thing happened, but I'm gonna put a smile on it." Like, I don't believe in spiritual
yeah,
bypassing or suppressing those emotions, it's just, like, the pieces of the work. Awesome,
it's
and
yeah,
then
it's
how do you
all.
help people get Oh, sorry. It's all what?
Oh, I
I think you cut
no,
out a
never
little
mind. It's okay.
bit.
Go for it.
Awesome, and then we were gonna talk a little bit about you don't have to be perfect in order to be symptom free, so do you wanna touch on that before we do the meditation?
Yeah, what a great lead in. We were just talking about that. um, so I think that a big piece too is, first of all, finding a way to believe that it's possible, whatever that
Mhm.
means. Whether it's finding stories, reach out to me, and I'd be happy to tell you my whole story. I think I have multiple Facebook lives too where I've shared extensively my whole story, so you can see like from A to B where I was and where I
Mhm.
am now. Um, but that can be very helpful in getting that hope, because
Yeah.
in getting the hope, then we can build belief. And in
Mhm.
building belief, you know, just like I forget who it was where this quote is from, but it was whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right.
Yes. Mhm. I love that.
And it's so true, you know. You either can or you can't, but the only thing standing in your way from that possibility, either direction, is you.
Yeah.
So even just to make something possible, you first have to believe that you can,
Mhm.
and that it's worth trying. I think it's
Mhm.
flexibility Even if there's just a tiny glimmer of, well, maybe. That's all you need is a well, maybe to be real.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be like, yeah, I know I can do it. You can even be like, you know what? I hate this other side and fuck that. Like, I just know that
Yeah.
that can be what gives you a tiny
Yes.
glimmer of, there has to be something, even a
Mhm.
tiny thing that can help just a little bit. And once you
Yes.
have those little tastes of, this helped just a little bit, this
Mhm.
helped just a little bit more, that's step by step getting you there. But the
Mhm.
other piece of it is that we're not often taught this psychophysiological connection, right? The mind body connection.
Mhm.
Nobody taught us that in school.
No.
Like, that's not a thing. That's not a
Mhm.
thing. But it's acknowledged within, I mean, doctors don't even realize that they know it because we
Mhm.
see it in the placebo effect. We see
Yeah.
it in people taking a medication and then taking a sugar pill
Mhm.
and both working,
Yeah.
or sometimes the placebo working better,
Mhm.
right? With no side effects.
Yes. Mhm.
And people are like, "Oh, that just means that the medication doesn't work." I'm like, "No, no, no, no. I mean, yes, but also it
Yeah.
means that your mind is so much more powerful than you realize. That
Yeah.
you believing that something can help you is literally so powerful in something helping you.
Yeah.
And we can't fake belief. That's why they have the
Mhm.
studies that are double blind, because also even the doctors knowing that it's a sugar pill can have an impact with the
Mm.
nonverbal communication, with the energetics of it, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
It's so multifaceted and so multi-layered. But
Yeah.
the one thing specifically around any kind of pain, so definitely menstrual pain is included in this, is that all pain stems from some kind of guilt, because
Mm.
guilt always seeks punishment.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
most often, when I've interviewed my clients or prospective clients, in that first conversation we're having, I'm asking them about their personal life, about their past with their family, if there's certain trauma around the time when they either first had their period or around the time when they first experienced menstrual pain,
Mm.
or around the time that they first experienced someone else close to them having menstrual pain, whether it's, an aunt or a sister
Mm.
or, anybody, a friend, because that trauma sticks in the body. It
Mm.
associates, right?
Yeah.
And there can even be, I even had a client where her sister had painful periods. And so she felt guilty. She would have felt guilty not having a painful period.
Ooh. Yeah.
And it was in clearing that, just the first step of acknowledging it made a huge difference.
Mhm.
When something is left in the dark like that, just bringing it into the light by
Yeah.
acknowledging it
Mhm.
can already make such a big difference,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah.
then we're looking at other things like, the journey can go from, I had a client where we did everything, and then we went to and had an excision surgery, and that was the final piece that really
Mhm.
relieved pain on a larger scale for her.
Mhm.
And that's her journey, right? So
Yeah.
with my clients is own answers, and that starts in trying natural methods.
Mm.
And I have the things that have worked for me, the things that I've done my
Yeah.
research on that have worked for other people, for sure. And it also took me years of applying
Mhm.
those things before it made a difference. And if for
Yeah.
other clients, like for some of them, it'll take years. And for some of them, it only
Mhm.
took a month or a few months, because everybody's in a different
Mm.
place. We have our own past, our own
Yeah.
history, we have our own beliefs, we have everything is unique, right? So
Mhm.
it's absolutely important to find your own path with that.
Yes, and I wanna highlight a little piece that you just said there that gave me a little aha that was, like, really profound, was
Mm-hmm.
the piece about the sister having pain, so then she would have felt guilty if she didn't. And it's interesting because there's been a story in my family around migraines. My mom would have several migraines a year. When I got of age where I started having hormones and periods, I started
Mm,
having migraines. And then when I realized that it's our environment and conditions, and I got massages and changed my diet and things like that, I've gone a year and a half without any. And that was like unheard of. And she has started to go years without any
mm,
by changing similar things. And it's interesting that there's other stories where I'm like, I thought it was just quote genetics. And I've cleared a lot of those stories, but I'm like, that's interesting that because other women in my life, in my family have suffered through something, I thought I also had to in a couple different areas. So that was huge. So I hope that
mm,
supports other people
mm.
that like just because other people are suffering does
Yeah.
not mean you have to ever. It doesn't serve the world for more people to be in suffering ever.
So that really comes back to don't believe everything that you think
Yeah.
and don't believe everything that you believe, right?
Mhm.
Question everything you believe. Because even if you're
Yes.
not confident, your body associated, oh, this is just what happens, right? It's
Yeah. Mhm.
just like how any animals translate, in the wild. This is just how
Mhm.
we live. This is how we do things. This is how we catch our food.
Yeah.
Most of that is, like you mentioned, genetics. Genetics are also energetic. And
Mhm.
that's been shown in so many different ways with
Yeah.
modern science. But the way that we learn things, we can relearn things.
Mhm.
The way that we learn things is what happens and how we allow things to happen.
Mhm.
But we can also press the pause button,
Mhm.
become aware of that, and decide, you know what? I want to try to change this because I
Yeah.
don't want to do things just like this. I want to at
Mhm.
least try to change this.
Yes. Mhm. I love that. And we could go on for forever and ever, but you wanna get into that
Yeah.
meditation so that people can ask their body what the root cause of their symptom is. So, I know guys, I can get, like, so bad at listening to, like, things while I'm doing a million other things and having other tabs open. I encourage you to spend the next couple minutes with us just, like, dropping into your body, getting this wisdom because our bodies have such deep, incredible wisdom, and this will support you moving towards loving that and accepting that and starting to tune into that more often, which is so fun and so valuable.
Yeah. So I'm going to do kind of an abbreviated version
Mhm.
of this meditation. But if you would like to receive a recording, please reach out to me and I'd be happy to lead you through the phone with the recording. So,
Beautiful.
first and most, and take breaths is really important. Um, and as you are breathing, imagine that there are roots extending from the bottoms of your feet down into the earth. Even if you're 5 stories high in an apartment building,
Mhm.
reaching down and down and down. And with that rootedness in the earth, we also have direct guidance, direct connection to divine source, whatever you may call it, universe, God, the web that connects us all, metaphysics, whatever it is for you. Imagine a pillar extending up from the top of you into the sky, into endless light, into the universe. It can be white, it can be purple, it can be gold, whatever color it is for you. This is your connection to your inner truth. And the roots from your feet down into the earth is into your body. And take a few deep breaths. And remember that your body is here to help you. Your body is always helping you as you're eating food, as you're using the bathroom. It's here as your partner in life. And you are so much more than just your body, but your body is a piece of you that you have forever. Within you is also your inner child. And all of your experiences from this life. And if you believe in past lives, then also from your past lives. And as you remember that all of that is connected, that all of you and your experiences are connected to your current experience in life, that all of your relationships, your perspectives up to this point are connected to your current experience of life and of your cycle. Go ahead and place your left hand on your heart and your right hand over your womb. Your left hand is for receiving, and your right hand is for giving. So allow yourself to receive in your left hand from your heart all of your love. Think of something that you love more than anything, whether it's your child or your parent, a loved one, whether it's the sunshine and laying in the sun, whether it's your cat, whatever it is. Feel all of that love and bring that love through your left hand, through your arm, all the way in a circle back to your heart. And feel that passing from your heart down through your belly, your solar plexus, and into your womb. Feel it passing through your left arm across your chest and into your right hand and into your womb. Creating an endless figure eight, the symbol of infinity. All of that love. Let your womb know that you are here to love it and to support it. And let's start by apologizing with the practice of Ho'oponopono. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Let your womb know that you are sorry for not hearing, for not understanding its messages up to now, up to this point. For falling short sometimes, not always knowing what to do. And that you're sorry that you don't have the full knowledge. You have not had the full knowledge, the full teachings of how to care for your whole body, your whole womb. And your womb knows that that is not your fault. And your womb forgives you. Now, with clarity, with openness, take a deep breath in and exhale. With trust, with your intuition, ask your womb, why is it that it is in so much pain when it bleeds? Why is it in so much pain? And be patient as you wait for the answer. Sometimes you will have an answer immediately. Sometimes you will have many answers. Sometimes you will wait weeks doing this over and over before an answer emerges, clear as a whistle. And regardless of whether you hear an answer or not, be patient, grateful. Thank your womb. Butterflies in your, with love in your heart, for being with you, for helping you, for guiding you. Continue to build trust. Continue to earn its trust so that it can share its messages with you. Ask it how you can best take care of it, what it needs and when, because our needs change as our cycles change. And as you practice this, you'll get better and better at hearing its messages. And you won't always need to tap in and ground and be a pillar of light and go deep. As you build that trust and communication with your womb, she will just tell you what's going on. And that is your intuition. That is your self-knowledge. That is your inner knowing, your inner guidance system. As you continue to listen to that inner guidance, that is the number one way to help that pain go away. Listening to your body and following its guidance. Let's thank our wombs for being open with us, for being open to receiving that love, being open to communicating. Now feel that pillar come down into yourself, back into your crown, above your head. Feel the roots come back into your feet. And breathe into all that your body is as you open your eyes and come back to here and
now. Thank you so much. That was extraordinary.
now.
And I'd love for you guys to share in the comments below how that felt for you in your body, if you had any wisdom that you feel called to sharing with us. I definitely encourage you to do that. It's interesting because the first loudest thing that came up when I asked it why it is in pain when it bleeds, it was just, it has to. And I said, thank you. And is there anything else? And it's like, it just has to. And I'm like, interesting. Thank you for sharing. And that was just the message. It's like, it wasn't all the body things. It wasn't all the things. It's like, it just has to. And I'm like, ooh, that was like deep for me to like receive and just be like, that's what it currently thinks. I'm like, wow. So thank you so much. That was powerful for me for sure. And how can people
Yeah, that sounds like
Oh, sorry, you can go.
Oh, I was going to say that sounds like being in survivor mode
Mm,
for a long period of time
hmm.
is what stores that into our subconscious and into our organs.
Yeah.
Is this is just how it has to be. This is how it is, right?
Mhm.
So the
Yeah.
more that you practice breathing, dropping into the present,
Mm,
and going deeper,
mhm.
I think that more. Great job.
I get cut out a little bit. The last
Oh,
part I heard, I don't know if everyone else had that, but the last part I heard, and I could be manifesting that because my body's like, more things to heal, was the more that I practice that and go deeper. That's the last part that I heard. Everything else got like fuzzed.
whether you practice and go deeper, the deeper answers will come.
Mm, beautiful. Thank you
Yes,
for sharing.
just patience and consistency. You got this.
Mhm. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate this so much. And how can people connect with you after the show to get more of this awesome goodness in their life?
Definitely find me on Instagram. I'm at B, which is BE underscore magical AF, or
Mhm.
if you search for Lily Lune. Um, if you would like that guided meditation, go ahead and I am and I'll put it in the comments. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you for sharing your wisdom and hope with us today. I felt so much awesome energy from that meditation. So I'm personally definitely going to be doing more of that awesomeness. So I encourage you guys to reach out to her as well and get all the awesomeness that you are feeling called to getting so that you can also be in the normal of painless periods instead of the common of suffering, because we can literally just within ourselves shift this and it helps raise the consciousness. So you taking this time, it's not selfish at all. It serves you so deeply and it serves the world for us to make a whole new movement of that painless period. So I love what you're doing in the world. Thank you so much for sharing this with all of us today. And thank you guys for tuning into the Love and Light Show. And I'll see you guys next week. Sending you so much love and light.
Bye. Thanks for having me.